introduce your show.
Hello and welcome to Nerve Radio. Welcome to Translucency Radio. Ooh, we're playing the whole album.
Dun dun dun.
We're not playing the whole album. I forgot one of the tracks.
Are you not going to introduce it as the Murph Show or the Murph and James
Translucency
Show?
Radio. This is Translucent. I was going to do a jingle, but then I only decided we were doing this
Translucent,
night.
just like that window.
That window is transparent.
That's just straight up transparent.
True.
But we're going to be going through. We'll play all the album except Yeah, She's Cute, because I forgot to do it. And the Nerve. Honestly, the Nerve computers are very Stone Age, aren't they?
No, I believe that there's no Wi-Fi for a security reason.
Oh, okay. In that case, I take back what I said about them being Stone Age. But, it's going to be a full 2-hour show. You're going to hear most of the album. I'll talk you through the process of making them. These guys will add input where necessary, and then
probably
once that's over, we're going to do some previews of some other stuff from the rest of Rigby Hand Studios. So that's Murph.
Hi, I'm Jamie. Not Jamie Noble though. That name's up in the air currently.
Copyrighted. And then we have also.
I am Sean.
What's your artist name? Oh wait.
Sorry,
no, I might go over my on and off spontaneous Nerve show, the one I did earlier. For those of you who are probably weren't listening for that. The runny egg. Just runny egg.
Sorry,
could go with that for a laugh.
We can't all be Murph. Is it?
Or,
you have to be
or find me a rapture.
And also music from Batesy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put anything from Prupon. I was going to put a Proof song on. Oh, damn. I was going to put in a Proof song. I completely forgot.
That's a real prank gone wrong.
Big apologies. I just laughed very loudly into the mic.
Big apologies that if you hear some weird sounds, because they're doing like the Nerve.
They're doing karaoke. They're celebrating.
Congrats to everyone who got on the Nerve committee.
Some of them are like already members of the committee. So
shout out to everyone who's on the Nerve committee. Congratulations, I guess.
If you guys can hear us out there, give us a little cheer. We're shouting you out, Nerve committee.
Please. They do not care.
They cannot hear us. They are doing karaoke out in the office at the moment.
On their win. Anyway, Translucency is good.
Yeah. Apologies for playing the entirety of this bed in its fullest. We had technical issues. I was panicking.
Murph.
Has technical issues. There's a chance that you're not listening to this live, and I edited that out because if this is good enough, it'll be thrown on YouTube.
Yeah, it could be.
We need to get a picture of all three of us like looking cool for the thumbnail of that.
We could ask one of the committee members to take a picture, perhaps.
So there's a lot of behind the scenes.
Love you, Nerve committee.
Seeing how the sausage is made. Speaking of seeing how the sausage is made, I'd like to talk about the first track, PETRICHOR.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with sausages? I don't know. I don't know the translucency
law. Do you know the phrase, how the sausage is made? It's like...
Yeah.
That's just what I was referring to.
PETRICHOR. Such an interesting opening to the album.
The only reason it's the opening is because it was the first track I made for a second album challenge, and it was the first track on that for that reason. And then I just decided that even though nothing else sounds like it has to be the first track. It just has to be. Yeah. Because it's so wild. And it's like industrial hip-hop vibes on this one. Very distorted, very messy, but in a good way.
Interesting phrase.
Sean, you're the master of whether or not something is messy or not. So
I am a man of many resonance frequencies.
I can tell by how much the mic is peaking currently.
Peak.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm turning you down one more knob.
You're turning me down.
I'm turning you off. So yeah, in a few seconds you'll hear PETRICHOR, the first track off of Translucency. If this is your first time listening to it, probably not the best experience.
Sorry.
In the middle of it. And also, I got rid of all the swear words because it's radio. Woo!
I can't.
It smells like PETRICHOR, the sky is burning. My blood vessels recoil and my stomach's churning. The sirens roar, the fire's fed, you still in a till deep. All in all, we've made our bed, it's time for the big sleep. Get the hell out your private jet. What I've got to cater to you people not get. Most of us are quick to forget, but nature remembers an oxygen debt. Running out of time, it should be a crime. These people only care about their bottom line. Don't care what it takes to get rich. Leave the poor and the animals to drown in their own filth. We're all locked up and we're our own jailers. Can't inhale a clean breath of nature. Social media drowns out the real news in favour of the new Marvel trailer. Those with the power control the law. Middle Eastern war in pursuit of oil. Trees get sawed to the forest floor. So why the f*** are we the ones using a paper straw? It smells like PETRICHOR, the sky is burning. My blood vessels recoil, my stomach's churning. The sirens roar, the fire's
hint, all your facts are irrelevant. Pull a finger out, prove you're intelligent. Focus on preservation, not development. Not built to last is the iPhone you're wielding. A year or two will pass and you throw it in the green bin. Unrecyclable trash shipped abroad in a steel ship, thrown in landfill for poor brown kids to deal with. I highly doubt that we'll live past 60. This ain't a mystery, don't get Agatha Christie. I'll say it again, it's the 1% that caused this pain to maintain their reign over a messed up and joyless domain. Put a strain on the ozone layer with the private planes, stripping minerals from veins, depriving the blood to our brain. Insane, 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 insane.
The richest half of the world are responsible for 86% of greenhouse gas emissions, and the poorest half for just 14%.
With the staff findings of an international team of scientists led by the UK Met Office, which raised profound questions about the future of the Earth's climate. The team says that a prolonged heat wave in the Siberian Arctic this year is unequivocal evidence of climate change, and that the record high temperatures in Siberia would be possible without man-made. Findings are clear in the world was the
It smells like petrichor, the sky is burning. My blood vessels recoil, my stomach's churning. The sirens roar, the fire's fed, we still hear their tails leap. All in all, we've made our bed, it's time for the big sleep.
Smells like petrichor.
That was Petrichor by me. The censored lyrics sound a bit weird, especially the first one.
I think it's because I'm used to the explicit lyrics, so but it still sounds good. You get the thing of the song. I do like the samples in the middle.
Yeah, a lot of which I had to get rid of. One of them's famous director Uwe Boll.
Famous problematic director and controversial figure.
Uwe Boll.
He's a bit of a weird one. He's got a PhD.
And he swears a lot.
Yeah,
some of this, I've got Stephen Hawking in there. I've got some BBC News articles just about climate
You got some
change.
some SFW YouTube
Yes.
stuff. I'm going to
We'll go
say
into that on air.
Yeah.
But if you saw the Translucency quiz, then you'll know what we're referring to.
you will.
And it's just a big cacophony of sound,
Yeah.
and that drowns out.
The
the,
chef reference drowns out the real
Oh yeah,
filth.
John Favreau and Chef saying it's molten.
Yeah.
It's molten.
It drowns out
It's
the real
molten.
filth in favour of
It's
the new
molten.
Marvel trailer. Yeah, it's a great song to kick off the album.
It's a weird one, like I said.
Yeah, it's a real Uwe Boll
Jamie,
song.
Why have you got pad and pad out right now?
Because I'm writing lyrics for another song. I accepted a
What?
commission months ago to write a song for a short film, and I have not done it. And it needs to be done by today, ideally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
You
doing.
live with us. Why didn't you ask for help?
That's why Sam
Sam
has
carried.
helped me. And when I say helped me, I mean carried me. You know that meme where like, oh yeah, why did you desert me, God, on the beach when there's only one set of footprints? Well, that's because that's when I carried
I
you.
don't know that meme.
What sort of music is it?
It's not meme is not the right word.
It's
for it.
boring. I also
Okay.
like Jamie and Sam's music. This track is like, hey, I'm Grover. This is what my year like was in elementary school.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think I remember you when you got. Remember when you got this? When you got this? Sorry, I just stepped back. I think I remember when you got this commission.
Yeah, the
because
problem
you were really
is
struggling to write
is
it.
that it's an upbeat song, and I don't write upbeat music.
No.
Yeah, I remember now.
So like he was like, oh yeah, if you want to do like something's wrong with Kate, and I was like, that song is I wouldn't call that song upbeat.
Apologies for dumping on this, but it gets the job done. You know, it's no something's wrong with Kate.
It's a
Something's
commission
wrong with
work,
Kate is-
yeah.
Yeah.
Something's Wrong with Kate is a song that's very personal to me, whereas this song, I mean,
something you're doing at the moment as well, Sean. Commission work, am I right?
you certainly
Yes, I've here I can
cheeky plug.
yeah, I can literally plug Mr. Nathan Slade, a year 3 film student, has just released his final piece,
Magnum
which is,
opus.
Perry the Pineapple Part 3. It's on YouTube. Go watch it. I did
Streaming
the
now.
sitcom music, and then there was another composer who did the other cool stuff. Rob, he's a very nice guy. But yeah, I've also done that alongside music for free animation students. Two, I
the,
did
the skateboarding one is so good. The
Yeah.
music
that one
on
I'm
it
really
is
happy
great,
with.
yeah.
Hannah's I'm also very happy with. Gudier's is Gudier's is the orchestra, but then there's also Kitty's one, which was technically Joe's commission. He wrote the song. I just recorded that for him and helped him polish it up, did the drums, that kind of thing.
And as a result, within like your group of friends, our house is called the Sound House. because-
Yes.
We are the SoundCloud.
So there's
Yeah.
for those of you who aren't in the Liberation Lounge, I know there's some people down there now. They probably can't hear us because you can never hear Nerve Radio in there properly. If you can hear me, hi.
Hello, Lib Lounge.
If you yell
But
into
the law at the moment is there's Sound House, which is us. There's Improv House, which is soon to be replaced with New Improv House next year, which will be Josh's house.
Yeah.
Josh and Joe's house. There is Rubble. Oh wait, no, that's also Rubble House. Rubble House and Improv House are going to be the same house.
The law is just too complicated to...
Or
This
will
is a real family tree.
Unless Kenny's house is going to be Improv House. I'm going to say Kenny's house is Improv House. Josh and Joe's house is Rubble House because
This is like the
Noah and
weirdest
Joe
game
are
of
going
Big
to
Brother I've ever
destroy it
seen.
with pyrotechnics.
Can we
There
be
is- there's
seminal
Garfield.
film Monster House?
There's Garfield House. Monster House is a good
I
film.
know it's a good film.
Yeah,
It's like the only memory I have of like my great nan.
Can we
Is,
Roadhouse?
Like her giving like me and my brother like a copy of Monster House.
nice.
You've told me this story before.
Yeah.
But I think, like, in terms of translucency, I think we need to go a bit deeper.
Oh, but very good, Jamie. Very
thank you.
good. As the only other person who can
Can
see.
you turn his mic
when the
down
next
now?
track starts.
Which one's his mic? I need to turn it down.
Yeah, let's just mute Jamie for a little bit. No, I'm happy that you transitioned me there because translucence. The next track's deeper. This one is. I've been describing it as sort of an electronic modern sea shanty.
What?
Like a modern sea shanty, isn't it?
But yeah, I guess
Is it
so.
just like Swan?
We had a modern sea shanty.
It's
It was
not-
that thing that was on
I'm going to
TikTok.
judge you for this after I hear it.
Yeah.
Or if it's not a sea shanty.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
We've
anyway,
heard this riff so many times.
You know, for the sake of keeping the entertainment up, would either of you guys like a hop?
I'm
do
good,
have
thank
a
you.
hop.
When did it get dark? The days feel as if they're getting shorter, and the USS Bismarck has once again left German waters. We path away, the cruise been stopped for days, and we won't see land till Friday. I start feeling seasick, and I start to see sheep, and I head to disarray. The sea turns to stone and my eyes to rubber, like I've been drinking liquor. My two eyes were deceiving me, but my third told me the full picture. The wind smoking tongues, and it pierced my skin as the seas became a They looked me in with the promise of sin, and I felt compelled to go. I felt weaker and weaker as I was pulled underneath by creatures. I went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm just a crashing wave at the tide, going higher, higher, higher than ever before. Swim in the shallow grave, you're beside, till the choir, choir, choir is never more. Completely meaningless, I don't think I'm dreaming this. It's devoid of all metaphor. Nuance is lost when ambition
plastic. The water stagnation, motionless crustacean with his neck ring dry by plastic. I'm just a crashing wave at the tide, going higher, higher, higher than ever before. Swim in the shallow grave you're beside, till the choir, choir, choir is never, never. Absorbed by sapphire, feelings become satire in worlds we're all submerged in. Everything I say is muffled tea foam spray. I couldn't get a single word in. Tied in, tied out, tied up even in a drought. A cruel, unusual embrace. Sadness that doesn't rhyme. I'd say it's worth my time, but I'm nothing but a crashing wave. Take me away again. Floating, take me away again. Floating, take me away again. Floating, take me away again. Land her from a lighthouse aspire. To flow to the rhythm of the choir. The intense pressure makes diamonds that shine through me. They say no man is an island, but I am the
That was Wave, and before that was Deeper
Indeed.
by me.
It's been so
I
interesting
thought it
to
was by
see.
Jamie.
Yeah, the new Jamie song.
It's been such an interesting thing to see these tracks kind of come along from where they started.
It's interesting because I said it about PETRICHOR. Those two are also from album challenges. PETRICHOR
from
was
the-
from the second. Deeper was from the first.
It's good to know that something good came from that first one. I mean, like Normality was from that.
The first one, Deeper, was so interesting because I didn't have a laptop at that time, so I didn't have access to Logic. And Sean McGonigal offered me his subscription to Studio One, and I had no idea what I was doing. But I ended up making Deeper, which obviously the early version was very bare bones, but I was quite happy with it. And over the summer, I just downloaded Studio One again, tried to find all the same instruments. It's very helpful that we filmed the process for a video.
Well, it's very helpful that you filmed
I
the
filmed
process for the video.
So I could find a lot of the same instruments, re-export them, and get as close to that original sound as possible. And then, for ages, I was doubting Deeper's place on the album, because I remember I sent a version on the group chat with completely different drums.
Yeah.
You and Proof were just like, it sucks, this sucks.
Yeah.
Did you realise you couldn't change it when you were in 2D?
Wow. Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know what I was thinking, but making Wave, I made waves with the next track.
For the
because-
record, I would like to spell out for anybody listening it VV and then
Yeah,
the rest of the word
AV.
A.
Yeah.
But the two capital V's make a W.
Yeah.
If you want to pronounce it Wave, you
VVave.
can. But we tend to say VVave, yeah.
I've never heard you guys say that. I've only ever heard
Really?
you refer to it as
We have
Wave.
an ongoing joke, VVave, that apparently we don't say in album shorts.
It's never VVave, though. VVave is not a correct pronunciation.
It has to be
Wave or
Vavave.
VVave.
Like a
Vavave.
pop.
It's quite
It's not
French.
Leviosa,
Very
it's
pop.
Leviosa.
But obviously they transition
Jamie
to each
Noble,
other.
the notorious Harry Potter hater, out
Harry
here
Potter
making
fan.
Harry Potter
I-
references.
I
Nice.
call them, like, Deeper Wave and the next track, Dust Whisper, I consider to be almost like a trilogy. Almost like a natural erosion, sea, self-isolation.
The Erosion trilogy.
Trilogy, yeah. Because Wave sort of recontextualizes Deeper as something a bit more...
The H2O Just Add Water trilogy.
I get that. It's the mermaid films on Netflix.
It is, yeah.
Because, can I say... I don't know if I'm able to say this word on radio, so I'll just say it and then apologise afterwards. But... because that's what you definitely should do. But me and my brother and my cousins were at my nan's house, and we just were flicking through random stuff on Netflix, and we put on H2O Just Add Water, and my nan came in and was like,
Don't say the word.
what's this? And we were like, oh, Toby's just got a mermaid fetish. Apologies if I'm not allowed to say that word.
Probably not, but I feel like there's worse words you could say on radio.
And I have.
For example.
In this essay, I will.
Yeah, and then making Wave, and the first lyric and the first verse of Wave being completely meaningless, just sort of put deeper in a whole different light for me. Is like having the opaque side to the album and the transparent side to the album.
Yeah,
Sean, you can touch on Wave a little bit because you mastered
I mixed and mastered it. Thank you very much. Might I add? One of the 2 songs I did in the album. Yeah, I really like Wave. Actually, I like it more than the Isolationist. It's the other song I did.
Wave's grown on me more over time. I think.
It's just because it's got better over time.
I would say instrumentally, it's really interesting. It's really nice. The song grows and develops in a very progressive. It just works. It's just a good song.
I've always thought that the structure of Wave is very similar to a wave itself, where it kind of builds into itself and then breaks towards the end. It kind of reaches its peak, grows into itself, reaches a peak, and then breaks, which I think is just a really
instead of the
great analysis.
The final bit with the land ho from it was originally just the chorus again, but with sort of I had a fifth or like a seventh. I did some sort of harmonization that wasn't great, and then when I changed it to this, Sam was like, "No, bad. Turn it back to the original." But really,
I think that's just Sam getting used to the original.
Yeah. Sam doesn't like change.
Sam doesn't like music. Sam knows nothing.
Sam's actually notoriously.
Some of my favourite songs are instrumental. So.
But we're about to hear the third track in this, whatever I call it, trilogy, Dust Whisperer.
A name that originated elsewhere.
Yes. It was a demo I sent to Sam that he ended up using. It was originally called White Water for a while. And this was also based on a Proop riff, so this one's been here, there and everywhere.
Yeah.
But it's a bit more vocally led.
Let's learn how to tame dust.
Yeah.
Take me to the place where you turn me into mineral, and you saw it on my face on the day that I was miserable. But there was nothing I could do about it, and it hurt me more than you know. You drew my face like an identikit when you carved me out of stone. Watch me around, watch me wither away, watch me turn to dust in the light of day. Watch me around, watch me wither away.
Shout out Proop's mum, this is her favourite song.
Formless and alone, and all I can form are whispers. The garments I have sewn, over time I found they've withered, but there was nothing I could do to change it. I'm just a pawn in Father Time's game, and the part that still from this distance. In time will come to hate the force that withers the blinked and missed eternity in an instant. Think of the comfort you can save. Come close and twisted threads of fate. On your clock's hand, in also thoughts meant for trying to think and then never dying, moving unwillingly at nature's command. Empires built foots on the sand, castles held by unseen hands. There's no rewinding, only fast forward. At night asking for seconds, times fall, horizons back. The past you remembered was hand-drawn and quartered. Stick shores can't wait to set sail, turn tide you never saw scale. Slide away.
I'm sick of that song.
To be honest, I'm sick of quite a lot of these. It has been like that's actually one of the more recent ones, isn't it? Secondhand Time.
Yeah, it took a while, but the thing is, like, it's been worked on over such a long period of time that it's existed in some form for a while, but it only came together like pretty before the album.
It's been really good having features, you know. Like, obviously, you on the album.
Oh yeah, by the way, that was Secondhand Time with me on it.
Jamie Noble.
Jamie Noble, of whom, don't look that up on Spotify. You won't find anything.
Yeah, but we're nearly there.
We're getting there.
We're nearly, that situation's nearly.
I've got 3 songs coming out May 27th. Yeah, so check that out, I guess.
Sean, stop fiddling with that. We can't take you anywhere.
Sorry, Dad.
I'm glad we have that soundbite now. Sean's calling.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, Secondhand Time was a really interesting process because I can't remember. No, I think you during the summer you just said, "Oh yeah, can someone send me a thing or whatever?" Because you were bored.
Piles of propofol.
I sent you a file that I called piles of propofol, which
and then just at some point, probably September, October time, we started working on it together.
Yeah. Then we sort of built out from there, but we pretty much hit a wall at every part of the song.
We had highs and lows. There was a day when we worked on it for like pretty much the whole day and got loads done. We got pretty much the entire instrumental structure apart from
there's just the ending. That was the main thing.
And then there was just times where we'd go in the studio for hours at a time and do nothing.
Yeah.
Eventually, we just decided to go with what we went with, which I remember at the time we were like okay on, but we just grown it more over time.
Yeah, definitely. I think I ended up writing about 10 choruses for it.
Yeah.
And then there was even like a little rap segment that was cut. Thank God.
Yeah, because the chorus was originally like twice the length. We cut it short.
Yeah,
you filled in the second half of the chorus with that rap.
The structure is definitely better, but it took a while to kind of get to the point where it was.
You know what's mad? Just now we were singing along to it. I couldn't hit that hand drawn and quartered note.
Yeah, Murph ascended while doing one singular note, and
the past you remember was hand-drawn. No, I'm too tired today.
Hand-drawn and quartered.
So you're
octave higher.
Hand-drawn and quartered.
All right,
that was pretty good.
Go away.
Hand-drawn and quartered.
But Murph, you're really tired, so you usually forget stuff today, right?
Yeah, like the next song.
Yeah.
Obviously,
based on a true event. So
it was
if I'm
one of the
told
ones I
correctly.
had to censor.
Yeah. Okay.
This was another one that was for the second album challenge. It was Yeah, She's Cute. The original title of it spoiled the plot twist. It was just called Yeah, She's Cute, but she's a Zionist.
Spoiler alert. I mean, you can't hear. You're not hearing it now, so.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not playing the song, so I kind of have to spoil it.
Yeah, Murph forgot to put it on his memory stick. The absolute buffoon.
So it's not the full album.
No, unfortunately not. But you can hear this one on YouTube.
This is just a Translucency.
There's even a music video as well.
Yeah, a really lovely one.
Spotify, you know, Spotify is also.
Yeah, go over to Spotify and do it.
But Yeah, She's Cute is a very weird one. But I justify its space in the runtime of me like returning to my roots. I think it was you who said this, Jamie, that it's me sort of doing an older style of song.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I still stand by it. So, like, with the progression of the album, you have this erosion trilogy, if you will, and then you move on to kind of a lot of where your music came from originally. So, if Yeah, She's Cute being a little bit more of an unserious, a little bit more of a playful song, usually taking like a fairly serious concept and playing with it and
taking the mic,
having a bit of fun with it. Then you have a song that comes back to a song that was on Normal Kind of Strange, and you remake it with Sam, which
someone who actually knows what he's doing.
I love like the metaphysical side of that, where it's you remaking a song from Normal Kind of Strange, but with somebody who's helped you in kind of like growing as a musician.
Yeah,
it's a really.
And also, it's because he did a really good cover of it.
He did a really good cover.
I also like completely.
Sam's got some pipes on him.
I forgot about Blood on Your Spacesuit until probably about 3 weeks before the album came out. I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to remake that song. So we have a whiteboard where we have our track lists on, and I rejigged it, put Blood on Your Spacesuit featuring BATESY, and said to Sam, come downstairs, I've added a new track to it.
It is my favourite song on the album with an asterisk, and the reason why there's an asterisk there is
don't say that, because I barely worked on it. Like, I wrote the lyrics and I recorded the vocals, but
now it's because I have a more rocky taste in music, or like my main genre that I listen to is pop punk, but it's such a fantastic song featuring BATESY.
Yeah,
that's BATESY in all caps,
and we're about to hear it now.
She's a Zionist. Never been let down like this. Never ever been let down. Never ever been let down like this. Never ever been let down. I'll be the first to admit, but to back Israel in a time like this, when they've caused Palestine so much conflict, it seems a bit, foolish. I said to myself, it's not a big deal, just try to forget about the whole ordeal. Ask her out anyway and seal the deal. Are you really gonna throw away this love so real? Yeah, I've thought it out, through and through, and if she holds this belief, why not others too? Because Zionism's typically a right-wing view, and do I really want to make a girl like that my boo? She could be pro-life or anti-vax, could be homophobic or evade tax, could believe that elite lizard people were behind the September 11th attacks. Oh, but I smile and I hair when I think of these things. I really don't care. A girl like her is really damn rare, and the situation is really unfair. Never ever been let down like this.
people do confuse anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism, but I already knew she was Jewish. That was not the turn off. That was actually kind of more of a turn on. Am I allowed to say that? I've never ever been let down like this. I've never ever been let down. I've never ever been let down like this. I've never ever been let down. I've never ever been let down like this. I've never ever been let down. I've never ever been let down like this. I've never ever been let down. From your shell, every step you take, the leash tightens. I can't even tell if you're brave or if you are frightened. What was the cost of these curiosities? Riding on a breeze to your window. You need to understand you've left the frying pan, but fell into the fires of limbo. Without even listening, you can't go back. Now that you know that something was missing, have you found the cracks in the structures that held up your life? You found out what was holding you back. Once you knew what existence felt like, it came at a cost. There is much you've lost. Now you've nowhere to come home to. You must see the effects to see space is dead. You've got to get some blood on your spacesuit. You've got to get 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 blood on your spacesuit. Blood on your spacesuit. The alarm bells rang. You left without even listening. You can't go back. Now that you know that something was missing. The alarm bells rang. You won't be the only one listening. The alarm bells rang. You won't be the only one listening.
Blood on Your Spacesuit featuring BATESY.
Indeed.
I just want to talk about Yes, She's Cute again for a little bit. Yeah, definitely go and check that one out because I'm a numpty who forgot to add it in.
Language.
Sorry, I'm a sloonswagon
Yeah, that's good.
who forgot to add it in. Obviously, that one's more the most phony story on the album. It's just...
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, I hate to tell you.
She's not cute?
Yeah, it's a made-up story.
I'm disappointed.
That I had a lot of fun with. But it's just a thought I had. It's one where I thought of the song title before the rest of it.
Yeah.
Same with Blood on Your Spacesuit, really. Because the title Blood on Your Spacesuit is like... I was just reading an X-Men comic and they're like...
Nerd.
Yeah. These guys from this science thing are about to dissect Cyclops. And one of them's like, oh, we're gonna get blood everywhere. Like, yeah, you gotta get blood on your spacesuit. I was like, that'd be a cool song title.
And it is.
But there's a mistake on Blood on Your Spacesuit actually that I made, because that's the second lot of vocals that we ended up using, and my original plan was to get Sam to do the alarm bells rang, because that's a bit higher. He's the better singer of us. And I was going to do You Were the Only One Listening, because in the original that's spoken very monotonously through like a sort of megaphone, not like that, but through a like a speakerphone,
some
like
EP level vocals right there.
Okay. I don't know what's wrong with the EP, Jamie.
It leans too much on funny ha-ha songs for the sake of it. The vocal performances aren't great.
Well, we'll wait for the seminal live experience and I'll see how I feel about that.
Yeah, go for it,
Jamie.
man.
But yeah, Blood on Your Spacesuit was an interesting one, considering how little I actually inputted into it. There's a few instrumental elements from the first Normal Kind of Strange version.
Yes. They just sound so nice in that. Like the do-do-do, it's just so... yes, that was the Among Us. So.
The next track is another completely phony one. Bit of a breakup track, this one, Isolationist.
What? You're telling me she's not...
But Sam relates to this quite a lot. I was telling you this, Sean, when we were working on it, that Sam actually relates to this. Even like the arbitrary amount of time that I said, he was like, oh, it's pretty similar to this one relationship.
Yeah.
So it's really funny.
Yeah.
And this is the other one that you mixed and mastered, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah. And we had trouble with the drums specifically.
But we got there.
We did.
I've been I am the superior mixing and mastering engineer, because Sam couldn't do it and I could.
Because the drums...
I'm joking, Sam can mix
I know.
master, so...
Right, now I've done that to both of you, I can...
Yeah, you've urinated on both of their strawberries at
yes.
that point. So yeah, Isolationist is another one that's from challenge.
It's a callback as well, isn't it? To
yes, you couldn't even finish your Barium Nitrate.
Yeah, it's technically you could view it as a sequel to Barium Nitrate.
It's like the Isolationist is meant to be from like the woman's perspective, and the song Barium Nitrate I did years ago is like from the man's perspective in the relationship.
This is Barium Nitrate is arguably your most iconic song.
No, maybe in. Is this all Hunter?
Yeah. Now, what I mean by that is, the reason why it's iconic in my head is because when I first met you, that was like the big song that you're like, oh yeah, this is people's favourite song on the album or whatever.
When you first met me.
Hold on. And my brain has not moved on from that.
Really?
In my head, yeah.
I released it. I just
released it
the day before I went to uni. And then released it a few weeks in.
I mean, Barium Nitrate's fine. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is Barium Nitrate from War Panther?
It's from Normal Kind of Strange, the one before that.
It's an old one.
An oldie but a goodie. But Isolationist is, because it's also like, there's a bit of Kanye in there.
Yeah, not intentionally.
Would anybody intentionally?
I made Isolationist when I was listening through Brockhampton's discography for the first time.
Well, that's when I was speaking to Proop about the album overall. He was like, he can definitely see the Brockhampton influences, which as somebody who doesn't
is very Bareface, and the
is Bareface.
Kieran McDonald.
Okay.
He doesn't like being called Bareface anymore, so I'm sorry for the dead naming. But yeah, Isolationist. I censored it.
But you've never been to Louisiana?
Never. I censored it, but I didn't have the master file, obviously, because you did it in Cubase. Yeah. So all the censorings are just the MP3, but reversed. So nice. It sounds good. Here we go.
Feeling as if I've been lied to. I hid my feelings like you hide truth. You're at my party in the bayou, although I didn't invite you. I shut my eyelids closed with white glue, cause if I open them I know I'll try to find you. I may be blinded but then again you're blind too. Are you dead to me or is the sky blue? I hate you but I'm still obsessed. How can you explain that? You betrayed me, but it takes all my energy to stop me crawling back. You're a
me into living with you. We based this apartment and letting you go free for a year and a half. And I must admit it's too soon to know. The relationship we shared was a high or a low. Feeling as if I've been lied to. I hid my feelings like you hide truth. You're at my party in the bayou, although I didn't invite you. I shut my eyelids closed with white glue, 'cause if I open them I know I'll try to find you. I may be blinded but then again you're blind too. Are you dead to me, or is the sky blue?
Yeah, you said I was yours, you said I was your only. Now we're both alone, but I'm happy that you're lonely. These bars seem cruel, yet I'm mean with the flow. Call me Adele Dazeem, cause I just couldn't let it go. You thought you could mistreat me and escape scot-free. One of us must burn and I'll make sure it's not me. I'm not sitting irate, you couldn't even finish your barium nitrate.
Gull by me. What is that song?
I believe it's Gull by you.
Like, that's the hardest one to describe genre. What would you say, Sean? I feel like you're the bigger music scholar of us.
Yeah. When you feel like you are the big...
Yeah.
See, I'm not the most, like... connected with, like,
this is not Minecraft
I don't
music.
listen to a lot. It's not from
not
Minecraft.
ska.
It's not ska or Minecraft music. So I don't. No, electronic music isn't my forte.
It's not your forte.
But I feel like the whole album is quite hard to explicitly define. Which, to be fair, I think it was Proop actually who told me that that's arguably a good thing because it means you're not doing something that falls in with the norm.
Yeah.
Because it's not about making something that sounds the same as others. Obviously, take inspiration, like, things will overlap, but if you can make something that's, like, truly unique to you, then...
But here's the thing, with Gull in particular, obviously, that's what I want from the whole album.
Yeah.
All the instruments on Gull, in the breakdown of the first half of the track, apart from the bass, it's all samples I stole from you guys, if you remember correctly.
I do remember this, yeah.
So
You sampled Smells Like Orange.
I use Smells Like Oranges by you as like a rising effect. I've got that effect that you said sounded like a whale. It's from a deleted Proop track. Plum Gone Wrong.
Probably because it would get him cancelled.
Oh, is this the song with the sample?
do you mean?
The sample. Man.
No, not that one. Plum Gum Wrong is.
No.
Oh, okay.
Plum Gum Wrong is taking a Looperman loop and then putting a trap beat behind it.
But the main goal was I was going to pick everyone's. I picked Jamie's worst song, Knights of Collar.
It's not even my worst song.
In my opinion.
Aristos Archaeon.
I mean, it's got charm. It's got very minimal charm. Knights of Collar is just dull. So I picked, but it has some cool elements to it. Like I think that some of the synth sounds at the end.
That's because they're yours.
I picked them out. I used some weird Sam instrumentals. I used some stuff from Harris Murphy's God Part 2.
Are you the one that would get Sam cancelled?
Yeah.
The best one.
So it's a very interesting thing that was originally a hell of a lot longer as well. It was a 3-minute version, which is going to be on the expanded edition, which will be at the end of the night.
So, Murph, why did you call the album Translucency? What was the thing behind that?
Because I'm being honest, but I'm also not being honest. And Gull is the breaking point, where everything from this point forward, I'm at least trying to be a little bit more honest. I mean, I guess Translucency is technically... Translucency, the track, is technically the breaking point, because I start off by...
You start off with just like a general...
Yeah. Because the original title for that was Ego/Doubt.
Yes.
Terrible title.
That does very much feel like something that would be on one of the artists you'd listen to. Mm-hmm. They call it something like Ego/Doubt or something.
Nah, it's a terrible name.
Yeah, that's why I think it would be on an artist that you listen to.
But Translucency it's got that driving bass line that everyone is sick of. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
That's existed for so long. There's so many
It's been used for so many different things.
It's not that it's a bad riff. It's that I think for me, at least, it was because of all of your bass lines, I remember it being the most prominent because it just I think it just must have had a lot more sub frequencies.
It's
it just vibrated through the whole
to begin with. Yeah,
house.
The bass that Murph uses is called subby bass.
Literally, yeah, it's called subby bass.
But it used to, like, when I was trying, because you guys always work on it in the evening. Because well, I mean, I don't, because I'm a good uni student, but because they're normal, the others are normal uni students. They always work. You work on music in the evening.
Yeah.
Sleep.
But this one, the outro for this one, was originally its own separate song. It's called, I tend to call it Understanding Song, the Oh Baby Don't Go See-Through part. I've actually extended it especially for this radio show. I've extended it a bit. So I didn't want to extend it for the deluxe version of the album because it's all sample heavy, and when I'm not singing over the top of it, I'm worried that the people who I won't mention...
You can at least hear a special version of the song Translucency. I also remixed the song, so I'm also very sick of this bass line.
And we'll be hearing... we'll talk about the remixes a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But
here's Translucency, a big turning point in the album. It gets more serious.
The best part about this song being played on radio is it's clean. So that's going to be a...
And I changed all the lyrics as well. There's not like any bleeps or anything. I just changed the lyrics.
Yeah.
So
enjoy that.
Here we go, the title track from Translucency. Translucency.
Can't wait.
It's a new bass line as well.
Critiques pass straight through your head, but I absorb them and use them. Yeah, I'm a conductor. Your music won't sell because your songs lack structure. You've got more L's than a driving instructor. Your lyrics are average, delivery porous. You're a joke and a stooge, call you Ronnie Corbett. Your bass is mixed poorly, your talent is forfeit. My bass is faster than Eddie Murphy in Norbit. Verse gets repetitive, I add another instrument. Making music isn't really all that intricate. Musicians are all hacks, they're not that sophisticate. Forget the Jackson 5, I can beat up that quintuplet. Forget Elvis 2, he married a minor. He's less Johnny Bravo and more Dan Schneider. I wanna shove Madlib in a meat grinder. Can't wait till Morrissey dies, industry lies and made up half-truths. Make me nervous, mo lies, mo capping. Andy Serkis, temperature rising like in a furnace. Beads of sweat dripping down my skin surface, cause I'm not braggadocious, it's all a facade. The first 4 verses you can disregard, cause it's easier to say that the song is great than putting in the hours and working hard. Will the lyrics on the album be too meta? I want it to be introspective, but the execution could be better. Forget a lyrical vendetta. banter and say what I wanted to say from the head. I like my mental health problems, but they'll get their turn. Music's a good form of therapy, or so I've learned. But I know if mum and dad hear a track like that, they'll send a WhatsApp message expressing concern. There I go again, downplaying my issues, cause other people have it worse. I'm not quite comfortable saying it out loud, so the best I can do right now is a verse. Trying to be honest on this album, but it's hard to. That's why almost every track thus far has been untrue. Can I be too true to you? Well, apparently. Why do you think the album's called this and not Transparency?
There's no two ways about it. You can't scratch that itch, you can't speak your heart, and you just can't change the language. So much for a strategic advantage. Is this a talent or just wasting time? Cause I feel balanced on this shaking line. I'm scared but gallant when I erase my mind to myself. I'm coward, but that's now me, right? Words that linger, barely written down. Black ink underneath your fingers, or you're underground.
I was annoyed I didn't have replies for everything they said, cause I won the argument when I rehearsed it in my head. I was annoyed I didn't have replies for everything they said, cause I won the argument when I rehearsed it in my head.
I was annoyed I didn't have replies for everything they said, cause I won the argument when I rehearsed it in my head. I was annoyed I didn't have replies for everything they said, cause I won the argument when I rehearsed it in my head. Words that inspire, never to be written down. Be the spark on the match that lights the fire, while words that linger drown. Never to be written down. Never to be written down.
never to be written down by me. That all of them have been as far as we're playing my album. That's what we're doing here. That was an interesting one because the instrumental dates back about 3 years. It was called Gravy Flavoured Gravy, and I was like, that's good. Actually, I remember actually
the title's pretty good.
When I was making Normal Kind of Strange, and it was nearly finished, and I just needed a couple more songs. I remember playing like 2 or 3 instrumentals for my dad, and he said that was the best of them, and I didn't end up using it. But now I have. Ages down the line.
Which is ironic because the song is about writer's block, and when you had writer's block, you went back to an old instrumental.
Yeah, because over summer, it was 3 months. That's something I get into in one of the last tracks. But summer was 3 months. What did I produce? I made the outro of Translucency, the boom 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 thing, which is all samples.
Which is what.
I said no sample snitching, Jamie, for God's sake.
Is that what the songs are called?
That's what the songs I sampled are called, Jamie.
I did not know that.
Jamie.
Well.
Jamie. I'll censor that in post. This is a thing that you gotta do. If you say the sample, there's no sample snitching. It's like a thing that people say in hip hop. Because like, if you know the sample and it's out there, then which is why websites that specifically say what the samples are typically like maligned. It doesn't matter though. I'll just censor it on the YouTube upload. So yeah, now we're getting into the last 3 tracks, which are they're like the weird part because it's still a bit crazy to me that they exist and that I've released them and that people listen to them, because I display like a level of honesty I would not have expected of myself. But they're all Cauterised is very much where I was mentally like last year. It is very much about my mental space, like being in a house with people I didn't necessarily talk to, like people, not necessarily people I don't like. They were all like fine enough people, but people I felt a little bit isolated from, for lack of a better word. And then
real isolationist.
Yeah.
Isolationist.
Is isolationist a word?
Yeah, probably. Based on the fact that there's another song on Spotify called Isolationist, maybe. But yeah, and then the wailing. The wailing is another. Don't you dare say what it samples, Jamie.
I'm not gonna calm down.
Another like heavily sampled song. It's almost trap music. It's very dark. It's very honest. Very short as well. Only 59 seconds. And Sam, when I first made it, I feel like multiple times now I've said that Sam said a thing that I should do with the album that I didn't do because I thought it was wrong. But Sam said it needs to be longer, but I think he's dead wrong about that. I think that it only works. It's like a very small punch, and it only really works if it goes.
I also just think that the various like components of it would get kind of boring after a while. Like they'd lose their punch.
Definitely.
You know a song's good when it's short and you can make it feel longer. When it's long, you can make it feel shorter.
Yeah.
More so the latter, because if it's a short song that feels long, it could also be really bad. But in some,
like I heard the wailing, and this song just won't end.
Hear me out, guys. The Minecraft soundtrack is a great example.
No, I know what you mean. Like it has enough to say, and it justifies its place in the track list. And I personally am happy with it. I was saying as well, I have said before that it kind of sounds like the sort of stuff I'd listen to, but even then, it's harder than that. I think I feel like it's slightly outside of my.
I don't know. You've been listening to some pretty hard stuff recently.
Yeah, but not when I made it though. And this was a really quick one. I recorded the vocals when you four were all sat downstairs playing a Life is Strange drinking game, and
I remember this.
And I wanted to record the vocals for this while I had them. And it turned out pretty good. I ended up crediting Proop as a producer on the track as well, because he put some Valhalla Supermassive on there, which is like a very specific type of like reverb and echo, which sounds really cool.
Great free plugin if you're a musician who doesn't have money to buy a proper like reverb, or that your DAW just doesn't come very good one. Valhalla Supermassive. They do actually have other free plugins. The company make it.
Yeah, not spawned.
But they're quite good. I've been meaning to download their other plugins because they've got some other ones which are free.
Yeah. And if you can, harpoon those plugins.
First of all, they herd the whales into the harbour. Then they harpoon them.
feel burned out. Is this really how my life turned out? Feel like a beached whale, how I dove. Sat on my phone, opening the app I just closed. Didn't out today, feeling unfulfilled. And it's chilly this September, got autumnal chills. Still waiting on that quote for our energy bills. Vocal cords remain still like it will J Kill. As in I can't record vocals, my headspace is off. Wearing another man's face like face off. Told them my thoughts intrude and they just scoff. Convincing myself I'm not psycho is tough. I'm not a liar cause I hide away my mental health. I'm sorry that I've learned to hide that with stealth. I'm sorry that you don't believe in what I felt. And I'm sorry I don't talk about my least favourite part about myself.
Too locked.
Drink a glass of milk before bed, cause they told me it will help me sleep in. Isolate every thought in my head to its own little room where I keep it. Every little moment immortalized, played behind my eyes when I sleep at night and I cry. Cause I know my memories are cauterized. Might mean the same thing to you all, but not to me. Maybe I'm just processing events differently. It's not a blessing or a curse, just an annoyance. Whether I'm drowning in these thoughts or staying buoyant. Back off, let me see your point of view, because the worst case scenario is always true. The branch I'm offered splits into two. Which of the paths am I to choose? Can't trust anyone, I sense the hatred. If I'm in a bubble, it's one they've created. My mind's caught up and my heart's inflated. Forget sleep, I wanna be sedated. Drink a glass of milk before bed, cause they told me it will help me sleep in. Isolate every thought in my head to its own little room where I keep it. Every little moment immortalized, played behind my eyes when I sleep at night and I cry. Cause I know my memories are cauterized. Framed by my own brain and the way that I am built. But even when you're not to blame, you can still feel guilt. It's not a blessing, it's a curse, or so I've decided. Leave me alone with my hurt and panic and detritus. Shut up when you talk, I can't think straight. I'm so irate, just feel my heart rate. I don't have the time for a whole debate. And if I don't win, I think I'll deflate. Every little thing, every conversation, blown out of proportion, exaggeration. I found for peace in a safe space, in a comfort zone that needs no escape.
was Cauterised.
Yep. Is that why you keep drinking my milk?
No, I don't actually drink milk. Literally, one of the first lines on the final track is the Cauterised chorus is a lie. I noticed as it was literally one of the last days as we were finishing the album, me and Sam, I turned to Sam and I was like, I've made a mistake. On Transparency, I say that Cauterised chorus lies, but that I mean the verses. But the first verse literally ends with me saying I want to be sedated. Which is 100% not true. So I kind of messed up on that front. But
That's 100% true.
But for the most part,
no,
Cauterised is quite a translucent song of like straying the line between. I'm saying a bunch of
There's genuine feelings there that have been played with and for the purposes of creating a narrative in a song and making a song out of it.
But we only got one track left. The final one, Transparency in Time.
Frankenstein track. That's a joke.
Yeah, well, a few people, Sam notably, was saying split it up into two, but Sam's wrong again. Yet again, Sam's wrong about something. I also like to
be
one track.
Like we've talked about this sort of thing before. I also just like the idea of finishing with one long like conclusion
with a slash in it as well,
to give it a space in that where you've got like a 7-minute track. By the way, it's 7 minutes long.
Yeah. But it warrants it, and I wrote the lyrics for Transparency over the space of about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I can't swear, so
I say flipping in this version.
Okay.
But content warning for whatever, like, I don't know, what do I say?
Mental health issues,
I guess. But like, I don't know, it's very strange to know that people are listening to this. It's weird to know that like I'm talking right now, and like my nan's gonna hear these words. I don't know.
Hello, Murph's nan.
I don't know if she's like my grandparents.
So, hello, Harris's nan.
I know that like my mum's mum listened to the album, but I don't know if like my dad's mum listened to the album. And then my parents are gonna have to sit through it again, and like obviously there's a line on Translucency, like specifically saying if I make a track where I'm honest, I'm gonna get, because when I made 12:18 AM, a track that is completely made up, my mum was concerned that I was like having trouble sleeping or had anxiety, but it's just a problem with me being concerned about how I'm perceived and whether or not honesty is the right way to go. But here we go. Here's the final track on the album, Transparency in Time, and once that plays, we'll return for some final thoughts and then talk about some other things.
All of these creative choices I've defended, doing everything I can, feeling overextended. I'm a lesser cause I panic and I cannot adjust to these social situations that I'm often presented. When my dad's at home adjusting to his brand new appendage, Cauterised chorus lies, the verses I meant it. The glass of milk lyric, I've come to resent it, but I've had some trouble sleeping since that song ended. 8-year-old me would be heartbroken, I'm not a writer. I can't start ideas, develop or finish either. Staring at a blinking cursor of a screen brighter. My life a movie, Charlie Kaufman is the screenwriter. I need to slip into a life that's easier. An attention span whittled away for years with social media. Then COVID hit like a meteor. Procrastinated every little thing, I got wearier. And now I can't relax cause my brain's doing nothing is wrong. It took me 4 flipping months to write the lyrics for this song. Unproductive, a passing judgment, moving on. Unfulfilling hours fill my days, moving time along. Feel lazy, I feel like vermin. I heard people say my work ethic is absurd, man. Oh yeah, is it? Really? If I was so determined, I still know how to speak a single word of German. And the album would have been out by winter. But creativity takes patience, I missed it. You can't carve sculptures without a few splinters. And all for some art that I put my soul into. I'm making too many checks just like receipts. Overthinking, place my own self in the hot seat. Every aspect of my life, columns on a spreadsheet. Record and process that stuff, throw it right on a beat. No label on my mental, no label for release. Put myself into my music till I'm missing a piece. Summer was 3 whole months, felt like just 2 weeks. But like I wasted it, I cried bundled up in my sheets. It's scary, this is just how time will pass for me now. Basket now, wondering who around me's masking a frown. Pass it around, cause I don't want to be translucent alone. I'm doing what I can here, I threw you a bone. Am I exaggerating feelings or all on my own? Fraudulent lyricist, co-writer, rhyme zone. Look back at the old me, I'm not sure if I've grown. 4 AM, blue eyes, Twitter feed on my phone. Traded less day for more night, but that's a bad trade like a haunter with an evier light. I can't evolve without the right climate. Not on the same page because we kept things quiet. Everyone else was bad, so you feel bad too. Then you feel worse because you think you're making this about you. Self-exploitative, writing lines when I feel blue. Results a downer of a song, I hope it isn't true. Plans indeterminate, so I felt amiss. Even worse, didn't get lyrics out of it. I just remembered something I said 3 years ago, and I don't like how I worded it. I should move on.
but that's not something I'm great at. Check the lock once, minute later I'm straight back. Said I might have OCD, wasn't easy to say that. No, you apologise, but you can't take a laugh back. Give myself credit, I need to renegotiate. OCD give me intrusive thoughts, I disassociate, but it's hard to disconnect myself from it when it's the disorder people treat like a personality trait. I'm so OCD now, you just like things ship-shape, acting too brave for someone self-diagnosed. God's sake, the album's good now, in a year it's a mixtape, like normal kind of strange wreck, onto a mixtape. When it's done I'm scared I won't release it, cause I won't be brave enough to put this track on and repeat it. I'm scared the ones I love think I don't mean it, I think the album stink, and I pour my whole heart out for nothing. Music, film and writing down, I've cast a wide net, looking for that one thing that hasn't arrived yet. I've got the goals that a true artist might set, but am I good enough to justify the mindset? I'm not immortal, there's something I make could be, so I've got to work with no breaks. So despite what I've said, nothing I am is a mistake. I've been translucent, now I can return opaque.
Wondering if I'm saying the right things. Wondering if the words I'm choosing to say mean anything to anyone but me. Wondering if I'm saying things because I mean it, or because it seems like the right thing to say. Wondering if I'm getting words off my chest, but they're still circulating my mind. Wondering if words can actually change anything. Wondering if anyone else feels like this. Wondering if you're even listening.
You've shot yourself in the foot and you're stumbling, wondering is this how much time it took to become someone worth being. I've never spelled it out, cause the letters themselves are beautiful alone, but they never had any meaning to me. If I hold your hand and tell you it'll all be fine, will you hold my tight?
the final track.
I think I've actually reappraised it, and I think In Time might be my favourite track on the album.
I'm so happy with it. It's something that I'm surprised I made. I'm surprised I made in 2 hours. It was a 2-hour song track. Obviously, the finished version wasn't. But I did the instrumental, and then all the lyrics came to me at once, and I was just rushing to get them all recorded. And I was so happy with it when we came to show it. Because even though the full vision wasn't there yet, I just knew that it was... What I was just saying before about it being the double track, the fact that the back half is such a... Like a... If the back half of Translucency, I'll never get those titles right, is an understanding song, this is like an acceptance song of like you earn the sort of accepting and reassurance of the back half of the song from all the self-doubt of the first half, I think. And yeah, I'm really happy with how that one turned out. I think the last one, even though how hard it is for me to hear now, like I'm always just tempted to talk over the top of it when I hear it.
I can tell because you did.
Because I did, yeah. And also the fact that it was playing on radio. Yeah, I couldn't be happy with it. And that's the album. Overall, I like it.
5 stars.
I like it. I'd give it at least like
you can read my music board review.
Yeah. I'd implore everyone to check it out. Add the ones you like to your playlist. Bump the numbers up a bit. Tell a friend.
I implore you to check it out. And if you don't like it, then great. Because then at least you gave it a serious go.
And I want to thank everyone who helped me make it. Obviously, the very talented mixing and mastering sound engineering crew I had, Sean Kirby and Sam Bates.
Your entourage.
You're being very quiet, Sean. Are you okay?
Yeah, but mixer tires just got something on my mind. That's all.
That was
not
very
for radio.
Not for.
That was very slow.
Yeah, just a bit tired. Had a bit of a late one, but yeah, I do just have something on my mind at the moment. So.
You can,
not for radio. It's not for radio.
If you want to leave, then
that's fair.
No, it's fine. I want to say.
Let's deal with this off.
Yes,
in a second.
Yeah, I want to thank Sean and Sam for helping with the mix and master.
I want to thank. A pleasure working with you, Harris.
Yeah, and it was really good getting to see two very different approaches to doing, especially the mastering. Was very good to see. You both had very different ways of approaching things, and I feel like there was. At some stages when you're working on stuff at the same time, a little bit of competition maybe, especially when I sent Wave to Sam and he was like, Murph, do you want me to redo the mixing? And I was like, no.
And then he did a rough master
in 4 minutes. Yeah. But no, that's been really fun. I obviously want to thank Jamie and Sam for being on it.
Thank you for letting me be on it. I said this as we were walking over, but yeah, loved being on it.
No, it's
actually the only song of mine that's still on it. That's still up on Spotify currently because the rest of them got copyright claimed.
I want to thank Fruit for doing the album cover.
Yeah, it's a fantastic album cover.
I can't wait for everyone to see the deluxe edition as well, which is painted.
Yeah.
Also looks incredible. I want to thank everyone who listened to it in general. I want to thank my family. I feel like my family are quite supportive of my music.
Definitely, like from hearing about how how everyone listened to your album, or how a lot of your family listened to the album when it came out. Hearing drafts about it beforehand, you were saying about how you played instrumentals for your dad before. I
want to thank everyone who was involved in the Be Transparent video. So everyone I mentioned before, plus my cousins Raven Phoenix, my brother Louis, Josh Duval did one.
Coral did as well.
And then from my course Luke, the two Wills, Kyle and Omar. I think that's everyone. If I forgot you, then apologies. But big shout out to everyone who did those. Shout out to everyone who's messaged me since it came out. Shout out this guy Thurston. Thurston? I think his name's Thurston.
I don't know.
Some American guy. I got the message.
He literally named himself after the cat. Thurston Waffles. Legend.
And he was like, I heard your music and great production. Keep up the good work.
But from Translucency onto the next thing that will be released with you on it.
Yeah. Your EP.
Is my upcoming EP, currently unnamed, with 4 songs on it. One of the songs is going to be Grand Design Lab, which originated from a challenge I did just by myself. Thanks, guys. Murph listened to it.
I was going to listen to it.
And it is featuring Murph, who does a little rap on it. So enjoy Grand Design Lab.
It was the best song before I was on it as well.
If everything's a metaphor, then what you doing it for? If I'm something you can't ignore, then would you show me the door? If everything ain't happening, then tell me, can it be told? If you're away so deep in thought, then tell me, why do you talk? Tell me all about your grand designs and make it seem all of them eyes. And you create a burden and you still can't fake it. Tell me all about your grand designs and tell me all about your grand designs and make it seem all of them eyes. And you create a burden and you still can't fake it. Tell me all about your grand designs and if everything's a metaphor, then what you doing it for? If I'm something you can't ignore, then generate me some more. Let me in your home like my name was Kevin McLeod.
Say it loud, that'll make a nice outro. Arch my back, I'm the male Gwyneth Paltrow. A bad track now wouldn't know about those, the herbs I can grow, with which my bars are laced. No time to waste, is that coriander a taste to translate for you Yang cilantro? Yeah. Oh, your eminence empire built on lies into cloak and dagger Bill Manlow. Lack of eloquence, you act smart, but you know Marlon Brando. He said he liked your art, that was before he knew that you rendered that piece using Dolly 2. Oh, poorly you, your art lacks sentiment, there's nothing artificial about my intelligence.
Tell me all about your grand designs and make it seem all like them eyes. And you create a burden and still can't fake it. Tell me all about your grand designs and tell me when you think we've crossed the line and what you believe just to say time. Make it so fake it to emotion so won't take it. Tell me all about your grand designs and
Ooh. Someone's mic's not on, Murph. Thank
Sorry,
you.
that middle button, Sean, your mic is slightly...
Can't believe this.
I just don't want to hear you.
Believe it. So that's Grand Design Lab by me, Jamie Noble, featuring Murph. Coming out soon. Very much looking forward to it. It's a song that I kind of did it very quickly. It was like one of the first instrumentals I did, and then I did the vocals for it in about like 20 minutes when my parents went out. And then it turned out really good, really well.
It's so
I'm like
groovy.
happy with it.
Yeah. It's the best vocal melody you've ever done is the verse of that, and the second best vocal melody you've ever done is the chorus of that.
Which is good. I personally like another song that we're going to play later on.
Yeah, that one is also very good.
Yeah.
But, you know, Rigby Hand Studios ethos is we only make good stuff.
Yeah. There is
Group made Pong Gone Wrong that one time.
Sam made House Murphy's got part 2. Sean,
tell us about Cold Hands.
Cold Hands. So my grandiose first album with no name.
Yep.
I'll deal with the name once I've got the
highly
all songs
anticipated.
Because I think then it will come more naturally to me. I don't want to force something now.
Yeah.
Same with the cover. But yeah, Cold Hands is an interesting one. Kind of, I got it's kind of similar to which song was it that you got from name first for? Was it Blood on Your Spacesuit?
Dust Whisperer.
And Dust Whisperer, but Blood on Your Spacesuit kind of as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was probably my fact. I don't seem to have this issue now. I don't know if it's just summer, but normally, despite the fact that I'd say I'm fairly active. My circulation can be quite iffy, and my hands and feet, they're both normally like very cold, no matter what. And I just thought, Cold Hands, that's like that's deep cool name, isn't it? Yeah. That's a cool deep song. But this song, I don't really know how to describe it.
Well, what's your typical genre that you go for, especially with
kind of? I don't know. It's a mix of like ambient and cinematic. Because ambient implies that it's like really chill throughout the whole thing, but a lot of mine will start off chill and then get a bit more lively near the end. I've got some which are like definitely like there's another song on my album that's definitely ambient, which is Albade, but Here's Cold Hands, which is not
Cold
completely.
Hands.
It starts off though. I'd just like to preface this hasn't been like fully mixed and mastered yet. It's about its hands and it's cold. I really like the drums in it.
Honestly, that's like a great place for this, because we're getting to a point where like the shows we'll be going for a while. Nice chill
calming,
track.
yeah.
Let's calm.
Yeah.
Like
But it still has that sense of, like you said, the cinematic aspect to it, especially towards the end.
No,
like,
definitely.
if you don't mind me just going on like a little discussion about like the whole point of my album, like I told this to Murph the other day, it's the kind of thing, the music I like to make, it's not something that you like listen to in the car and you're like singing along. I mean, you could listen to it in the car if you
couldn't
want,
sing
but, like,
along then.
but yeah, like it's not something that you have like blare. It's not supposed to be something you blare at like a stadium or something. My aim for my music is to basically get from it what I've gotten from the music I like to listen to when I'm doing stuff like work or something like. Because Jamie, I know you listen to a lot of Murph's music when you're doing your work and such. That's what I want from it. I don't want it to be something that's why I've stuck to instrumentals. Why I like doing that, because it's like it's got like the pace and rhythm. It's just something to have on in the background. My aim for it is that it can just, it's not it's just for someone to be able to listen to this.
It's like enhancing something.
Just enhance. Like,
I also just think that that's something that, like,
it helps someone.
There's such obviously, I'm not tuned into that sphere of music anyway, but I also just think that it's something that, I don't know.
But a lot of people are, though.
It's nice to see. I mean, like, it's like something that I think the volume of music that comes out, it's an area that doesn't necessarily get that much attention compared to, despite how, like, despite how great it is. You know,
it doesn't get much mainstream attention, but there's lots of people who are very. Like,
there is a dedicated audience for it. Like, people like C418, the Minecraft composer.
You'll go.
He's a very big influence of mine, like big inspiration. Particularly his album One, which is kind of like a mix between his normal music and the music he made for Minecraft. Very good album, by the way. But like his music had, like, he's got a decent amount of listeners on Spotify. Not like tens of millions. He does have quite,
especially like Minecraft Alpha. A lot of those are very well streamed.
Obviously, his most listened to songs are the Minecraft ones. Yeah, but he has got other albums and singles which do get a good sizable audience.
What's that shirt made out of, man?
Polyester.
Polyester layer that lies right there beneath your skin, and the hundreds of thousands of centipedes crawling there within. Your hollow bones are made of plastic and all your veins are barbed wire, but below is fire.
Like sesame, count my eyes and close to 70. I'm not myself, I just pretend to be. Made rope from the string threading identity. Claim my reward for years of obscenity. Never whole, no matter how hard I try to be. Just me, myself and the other entity. Disassociate and burn it as an effigy. Turn it into destiny, eyes peeled for hope. Whereas other people turn and kneel to cope. Concealed approach, reveal them both. I'm clutching the strings, you're clutching the rope. Polyester layer that lies right there
just heard some previews for my upcoming Translucency Expanded
I
Edition.
honestly saw you put Secondhand Time again. I was about to leap across this table.
But that's actually Sam's remix. That's a Secondhand Time
Yeah.
BATESY remix, which the only reason he was originally going to remix, I can't remember, Wave. He said he was going to remix Wave.
VVave.
But then I had my laptop open when I was editing the Secondhand Time music video. My phone just fell onto my keyboard and started reversing the video. And we were all like, this sounds sick. And Sam was like, okay, I've changed my mind. I'm going to remix Secondhand Time. And he did it that night.
Potentially hot take here, and a potentially biased one. I prefer my own remix. However, Sam did a really great job. Like, Sam, that remix is such... It's a remix that makes sense within the context of the song, especially since because it's playing with the time of the piece and, like, actually makes a remix out of that. And I think that's just kind of, like... Sam has a real knack for kind of seeing these kind of things and building on an existing idea.
Yeah. But overall...
Except on Placebo Happiness coming out late July, by the way.
Yeah, coming out August 2022. But out of the instrumentals, like, not instrumentals, remixes, Sam's is really good, Jamie, yours is really good, Sean's, yours isn't finished yet, but I really like where it's going. Proop hasn't started yet. I'll send him a WhatsApp message and...
expressing concern.
Yeah. But I'm quite happy with how the expanded edition is going to be, I think, because I think it's going to be quite long. I think it's going to be at least over half an hour.
It's quite meaty.
There's only 4 new tracks. The first one of which you heard earlier, it was called Polyester, which was in early track lists for the album.
Yeah.
So was Regret, which I released on YouTube this week.
I always get that song confused with Come On Early.
What?
Like, you have to start and then it goes dun, dun, dun. That's not how Regret goes as well.
Regret.
But for some
obviously,
reason,
I didn't want to put on streaming services because I can say what the sample is because I'm not going to get super subs on YouTube.
it's also very clear.
It's very clearly Edith Piaf's No, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. I don't speak French, so I'm not going to pretend like I can.
The best part about that song is Sam's never liked it. Jamie's always thought it was okay.
Like, fine.
When I played I remember playing you two were the first to hear the version with the new lyrics, the new rap, and you were both like, I don't know about that rap, really. I don't know. Sean, I remember in particular, you had an issue with the tuna line. You were like, I don't know if that sounds good. And Proop was the one defender of it until I changed the lyrics and I released it, sent him the music video because he was like, what happened to Regret? Sent him the music video and he was like, oh, it's not as good as the original. I was like, the original rap was about me being a drug addict and how I killed a man in a drug-induced rage. It was really cringe.
Like,
but also in the middle of it, I make a reference to Sally from Cars.
I remember being critical of that.
This very serious song has a Cars reference in it.
Yeah, the original version was too
I more view to take that as a reference to Murph's die-cast car review as opposed to like Sally from Cars.
But the new version no one likes, but I released it anyway because I like it, and that's
it's good.
Yeah,
it's fine actually.
Tell me that it's bad, so at the point stands.
I'm not telling you it's bad. That would be lying. I don't like
bad. It's awful.
It sucks. You suck, and you should be ashamed.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that deluxe expanded edition for the end of the month. But the next track that we're going to hear is from Jamie.
Yeah, it is.
This is a good track. Do you want to talk about it a little?
Yeah, sure. So the next track's Dear Somebody, which is actually going on my album I Couldn't Sleep, So I Made This Album, which is coming out like
good name,
June maybe. I don't know. Depends on how I get. Depends on it depends on whether I get the EP out first or whether I want to do the album first.
Or the live experience.
That's coming after.
Or the other album. Or the other EP.
The other album is that's a long term thing. So. Anyway.
Or the single.
Dear Somebody is the climax of the album, so it makes sense to play. It's actually the second to last song on the album, but it's a song that is. It's actually it's a song I wrote after I met a friend who I knew them in sixth form, and then met them for coffee, and we went to go watch the Mario movie on day one, surrounded by children. And
it's a children's film.
I came back and was like, yeah, that was kind of exactly what I thought it was. So I'm just gonna write a song about it, and then I did.
Yeah, so this is you being transparent in a way.
Yep, this is my transparency, and it's not out yet. So.
I remember listening to it and being like, hell yeah.
This is very transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dear Somebody by me. It does swear in it, so I've cut the...
No, not anymore.
I've cut 2 words out of it. If there's any more swear words in it, I apologise.
Yeah, we will apologise immediately after they play. But here's Dear Somebody.
It's Dear Somebody.
Wake up in the morning feeling so confused. Time skips to the afternoon. Smash card and I'm still in bed. Roll over and see a text. Something about seeing a friend today. The kind used to see if they were okay. I was worried that when the time came, we forget each other's name. She's doing well, something like that. Full of stories, she comes to laughing at. She's all grown up and living at large. Not perfect, but it's still ours. Did I see what she means? Telling me about all the things she's seen. Stops and says enough about me. So how you been? My room's a mess, and so's my headspace. I missed an assignment and I can't create. Put my heart into something I'll never finish. And think that it would be better if I never did it. I try to be sincere when it comes off the spec. A sinking feeling I just can't shake. Try to make jokes and try to save face. And say it doesn't matter, but I still hate the paranoia, sense of dread, the arrogance and the shades of red, the fear of death and being alone. In the world, just through my phone, self-improvement to stay in mind, but I just can't seem to get it right. Never seem to sleep through the night, and let's kill the vibe. Chin up and take your head out of your hand. Curse and try to have fun. Take a breath and you'll be fine. Says no one. There you go again, you're going off track. So let's get back to the part where everything was going right. I didn't say that, it's what's in my head. Not that it's something she wouldn't get. I say something about life being hard. She sees right through me before I start. She says, how you feeling? What you been up to? I say some shit that I couldn't give a you. I didn't mean that, it's coming up again. But now I'm wondering what I really said. My life's a mess, I can't get clean. All these words I tried to foresee. I'm not a writer, just a washed up hack. Recycles ideas and I can't get them back. I want to connect, but I'm too scared to. Can't see a rainbow, all I can see through the lights in my eyes is long since faded. Can't remember when I got this jaded. I can't believe it's gotten to this point. Writing a song just to have a voice. It matters to people around me will always listen to. Just to say shit to someone listening. I don't mean offense, just a private wish of self-improvement in a way that isn't this. I'm sorry for ruining the perfect afternoon. Don't worry, it'll be over soon. Chin up and take your head out of your hands. Curse and try to have fun. Take a breath and you'll be fine, says no one. There you go again, you're going off track. So let's get back to the part where everything was going right. Chin up, make your bed and make some plans. It's dangerous for you to go alone. Or so it said, though count the days till your chin's up and you can take your head out of your hands and take a breath and you'll be fine.
That was Dear Somebody.
Yeah.
Jamie Noble.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how that song's turned out. Like, it's... like, my plan for it is that it's pretty much going to stay the same. Obviously needs a little bit of tweaking in a couple of areas.
Go on the album.
And it will be.
Queen Sleeps when I made this album.
On the album. I kind of, like, wrote the song, and I listened to it occasionally. The lyrics of it is more, especially towards the ending of it, not only is it supposed to be a more optimistic end to the album rather than ending it on a down note. but like also just a song to listen to when I'm down, I guess,
Yeah.
because the ending of it's trying to be reassuring.
And in terms of what you're going to hear from Rigby Hand next,
Yeah.
my
Deluxe edition?
My deluxe, and I'll have an EP soon after that.
Yep.
You've got an EP.
4-song EP coming out, hopefully early June. Depends
Sean's
on mixing and
untitled
mastering.
ambient cinematic.
I reckon
album.
my album will definitely be out in July.
Okay.
Very
Some
much
good
looking
track.
forward
I'm
to it.
feeling, because I've been working on a lot of different genres recently for like uni work, commissions, such and such.
And with friend of the show, Joe Doyle.
Good, Joe Doyle. We need to work on the Friday and the Beans EP as well. That would be an exciting prospect.
Very much looking forward to that.
Shame we won't be able to do it under
lovely
the
voice.
Rigby Hand Studios name, but that is fine. We'll just pretend it is. We can still put it as like it's the publisher, but
and then we've got Sam. Sam's working on an album.
Yeah.
He's aiming for late July with that.
Proop's doing stuff.
Right, Proop. Proop's been struggling with like motivating himself to finish preliminary, which got to a really good stage at a point last year. So we told him to just bring everything with him. Yeah, I know. Told him to bring everything with him.
Yeah.
On so we can work on it in the studio and we can listen.
Looking
to
forward
it.
to seeing what he's cooking up.
So that's been this. This has been
That's us.
Translucency Radio, Rigby Hand Radio.
Yeah.
I've had a fun time.
Thanks everyone for listening. You can check mine and Sean's show. It's out Monday 3 p.m. for the foreseeable future.
It's called Coffee Talk.
Yeah, Coffee Talk.
like the game, which now has a sequel.
It does indeed.
We
And
could
I'll
talk
be back
about
next
that.
week. Listen to Trans. There's not really much point in saying that because if you listen to the show, you listen to the.
Listen to Translucency, okay.
Anyway, thank you very much. This final track is a new one from BATESY, just a bit of a demo, not quite finished yet. He's on the TV. Bye bye.
Take care of yourself, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Give myself a drink, pour myself a glass of water, give me time to think, give me time while I'm still sober, all I ever want, all I ever wanted was you, but you're not so real, 'cause he's on the TV, he's on the TV, he's on the Take a sip again.
This is Nerve.